Evening, everybody. It's episode 10 of Shaymen Legends, and we really have brought on a legend of FC Halifax Town. We brought on Scott McManus. Scott, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good, thank you. Obviously, are you at Matlock now, or?
No, I'm at Nuneaton Borough.
Oh, Nuneaton, yeah. How's that going then for you?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, mate. It's not been the
Yeah,
best start to the season.
yeah.
We're struggling a little bit, but we're
hmm
getting there slowly.
Is that in the 7th tier?
I'm not too sure, to be honest, mate. I
Mhm.
think it's called like the Centrals League or something. I
Yeah.
don't really know.
Mhm. So moving on to a bit
I
about
just turn up and
Halifax.
play, mate.
Mhm. Obviously, moving on to a bit about Halifax now, what was it like first joining the club back in 2011?
Yeah, it was amazing, mate. Yeah, obviously Neil
Mhm.
Aspin brought me into the
Yeah,
club, and I'll never forget it, mate. It was a great day of my life.
yeah. Obviously, a lot of players have come and gone. Obviously, when you were playing with like the likes of Lee Gregory, then Tommy Baker. A lot of great players that you've played with. What's that like?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, you're forgetting people like Jamie Vardy.
Yeah,
He was there my first season. That's how long ago it was. And obviously,
yeah,
being there 10 years.
yeah,
For 10 years, I've seen a lot of people come and go. Some great players who have
yeah.
gone on to do some good things, and some met some really good people.
Why was it then that you stayed at Halifax for so long? Because you were such a great player. I'm sure you could have probably gone on to play for in the football league.
Yeah, I had a few offers, but uh, the person I am, I just liked the love I received from fans, being wanted by the manager. Um,
Yeah.
that just meant more to me than anything else.
hmm Obviously, when you first joined Halifax, weren't you actually a centre half when you first joined coming into the club?
Yeah, they brought me in as a centre half, just because they'd seen me play a few games there, but
Yeah,
I'd never really been a centre half. I was always
yeah,
a left winger or a left back.
yeah. Obviously, you developed your game later on, and then you were a left back, but then you uh, joined as a left back, and that went really well for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all you fans will remember my
Yeah,
first performances at centre back. So I
yeah,
was really happy when Neil Aspin decided to
yeah.
switch me around back to left back.
Mhm. Obviously, he played under many managers, including Neil Aspin, Darren Kelly, Jim Harvey, Billy Heath, and I think finally Jamie Fullerton. But who was your favourite to play under?
Yeah, it was obviously Neil
Yeah,
Aspin was my clear favourite. He was the one that
yeah,
brought me to the club. And probably the one I spent the most time with. So yeah, I'd say it was definitely Neil.
mhm,
Really enjoyed my whole time there, but Neil Aspin
yeah.
was my favourite by far.
Mhm. Talk us through the Black season, then obviously under Neil Aspin. What was that like in the playoffs?
Yeah, mate, it was a great season, mate. Um, Obviously we've done really well all season. I think we went the majority of the season at home undefeated. Though it was a great season for us.
Yeah, obviously winning in the playoffs against Brackley, and it was the first time getting back into the National League since the side reformed. What was that like? Knowing you're going to get back into the National League. Was that the first time in your career you had got back into you were in the National League?
Um, yeah, it was my first time I'd ever played in, gone into the National League, and obviously I've had a few seasons with promotions and other stuff, but you just can't
Yeah,
beat getting promoted from a football league. There's no better feeling, especially through the playoffs because of how much harder it is. I think did we finish fifth? I think, and we still ended up getting promoted.
Mhm.
It was one of the best feelings I've ever had playing football.
Was it the best time of your life then playing for Halifax so far? Was that like the club you remember the most?
Yeah, it's by far my most
Yeah.
enjoyable time of my football
Mhm.
career. Yeah, by a mile.
Mhm. Obviously, lots of good times. There were many good times. It wasn't just the Brackley season. We'll move on to a bit more of that in a bit. But did you ever hope that one day you would go into the Football League with Halifax?
Yeah, we obviously got to the National League playoffs that season. I was really banking on it being that season, really hoping it would be that season, but we just came up short against the good Cambridge side. But Halifax will get there one day, one day soon, hopefully.
We've started well this season, hopefully. Obviously, the first leg, it were going so well, wasn't it, against Cambridge? But what do you think it was in the second leg that really sort of why we crumbled?
I just think they were the better team, mate. To be honest with you, the first game where we won 1-0 was a really tough game. I think they were a much bigger club at the time, and they had probably a bigger budget and better players. So I think they ended up getting promoted in the end, didn't they? So, and I think they finished second in the league. They were pushing Luton until late on. So obviously, it was just a bit of a tough ask, but we nearly did it.
Did you see yourself as like a role model with like the younger generation at Halifax?
Yeah, I always spent time speaking to the younger kids, and that. I don't really see myself as a role model, but I just always made time for people because I've got two kids myself, so it's just the right thing to do.
Obviously, when we were that season when we won the FA Trophy, we also went through relegation. Do you think the FA Trophy was a bit of a distraction, or do you think we just weren't good enough that season?
No, I think it was. Did we have 3 managers that season? It was just a bit of a mess from start to finish, but we nearly escaped on the final day. I think it was a mistake from one of the centre halves, cost us our second goal, which was really the story of our season. Just silly mistakes, but I think we won the last. Was like we went on like a 10-game unbeaten run up into it. So I can't really say it was a season what I want to forget because we were dead and buried at one point and literally got it took away from us on the final day. So we gave it everything and we just finished a bit short.
Quality players, obviously, in that team as well. It shouldn't have really got relegated when you think of the players like we had Burrow, who obviously did really well for us. I think he scored something like 11 goals, which is pretty good from a team that's not near the bottom of the league. You've got James Bolton, who's gone to play on for Portsmouth. There's loads of big names. Ben Sharif, obviously, is at Guiseley now. There's some great players who played in that team during the 2016 season. Talk us through the Nantwich game then, because obviously that was the last game before we're going to Wembley. Were you marking Matty Coslow during that game?
Yeah, Cosy played in that game. I'd never really played against him before. I sort of knew of him because he's from Manchester lad like myself. And obviously I scored, he didn't. So I hope he remembers it.
Yeah, he did score in that game. Obviously, they nearly got back into the game, didn't they, Nantwich at home? And it was really nervous going into that game. And obviously, we did it. What was it like then? Obviously, once we'd won the game, the final whistle blew, that you knew that Halifax were going to the Wembley for the first time in the history, even the old club.
To be honest with you, mate, I was more bothered about what was going on in the league. I remember a few of the lads going up onto the thing in the stadium and was spraying champagne, and I just refused to go up there, mate. I was a bit embarrassed to do it, to be honest.
Still beating Nantwich, it's really good. So if we move on to a bit about Wembley now, what were the build-up like the night before Wembley happened? What was it like? Were you hoping that you were going to get on the score sheet during that game?
No, I didn't really think about it, mate. To be honest, I just wanted to try and win the game for Halifax, mate. After obviously being relegated, it was a bit of To be honest with you, mate, it was a bit tough to get up for it
Mhm.
because we'd
Yeah.
obviously had a couple, was it a week or two break since the season had finished, and
Mhm.
obviously we finished on a low, so we it was really hard to get up for. But once the game day came, mate, and everything came back to life, and
Mhm.
I couldn't wait.
10,000 Halifax fans, which is a pretty good turnout from our point of view.
Yeah, it was a great day, mate. There's a
Mhm.
sea of blue like the blue fans
Mhm.
on our
Yeah.
side. It was obviously all my family, some friends there to watch. It was it was a
Mhm.
great day out.
Mhm. Now we were going to show the goal, but the connection's a bit funny. But talk us through that goal and what were going through your head at the time? Were you on like cloud nine? Obviously, you just scored, and in such fashion, well, it wasn't like a tap in; it was a screamer that you'd scored, and at Wembley as well on the big stage. I think a lot of people know of your name from that.
Yeah, I just remember the ball falling to the guys' not guys, it's the
Yeah,
Grimsby's right back,
mhm.
Richard
And then it
Tate,
came
and
out.
I'd played with him a little bit before,
Yeah.
and I knew he wasn't just going to kick it out, so I sort of gambled
Mhm.
on what he was going to do. Um,
Mhm.
if it was probably a league game at home at Halifax, I probably may not have shot with my right foot, but
Mhm.
I just thought, why not? And
Yeah, why not?
luckily, it went into the back of the net.
Mhm. As soon as you hit it, did you know that it's going to go in, or did you not expect it to go in?
No, I think obviously watched it back a few times, and I think you see me
Yeah.
looking and like I was a bit shocked that it actually went
Mhm.
in. To be honest with you, mate, and then I just
Mhm.
obviously ran off to work towards my family.
Yeah. Mhm. Which were a brilliant moment for you, and I'm sure your family as well.
Yeah, mate, it's a moment I'll never forget, and it's obviously with
Yeah.
Facebook and social media these days. Every year
Yeah.
it comes around,
Oh yeah.
I'm politely reminded about it. So it's a nice
Mhm.
thing.
Now you're the third player that we've interviewed that played in that game. We've done Kingsley James and Matty Brown, and they experienced it as an absolutely great day. And they said that it was just such a shame that they got relegated the same season. But what was it like, obviously, when you got relegated? Obviously, you spent a lot of the time out injured. What was it like coming straight back up to the National League?
Yeah, it was a great achievement to come straight back up.
Mhm.
The Conference
Yeah.
North's a hard league to get out of, so Billy Heath come in and he did a great job with the players,
Mhm.
and we managed to jump bounce straight back up. It was a great achievement.
Do you think if we didn't get promoted that season against Troll, do you think we could have easily got stuck down there like a lot of clubs have? Like, obviously, you've got York and you've got Kidderminster who are still down there today.
No, a club like Halifax wouldn't have stayed
Yeah.
down there for too long,
No.
mate.
No.
The chairman wouldn't have let that happen for too long.
No. Big club in that division. I think the final it was a record as well, a record attendance in the final of the Conference North. I think 8,000 were there. In Chorley, I think Chorley brought about 3,000 fans. So 5,000 Halifax fans for the Conference North final. It's brilliant from my point of view.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was one of the fans that day. I was sat in the
Yeah.
stands watching. Um, I was lucky enough to actually play a few games in that season, but the
Yeah.
manager decided not to have me on the bench that day. And I remember the left back went down injured within the first
Mhm.
half and had to come off. And I was thinking, oh, maybe you should have had me on the bench. But in the
Yeah.
end, it didn't matter, and
Yeah.
it was a great day to be there watching.
Do you think, obviously, when we won the FA Trophy, do you think if you hadn't got injured, do you think were there a couple of clubs knocking for you in the Football League even?
No, before then I'd had a few clubs come knocking, but
Yeah.
I was what was it 26, 27. I was coming a bit
Yeah.
to my end, and to be honest, I'd already previously to that signed a 2-year contract with Halifax, so I had
Mhm.
no intentions of going anywhere.
Mhm. Mhm. And then obviously having that experience under Billy Heath, obviously coming straight back up's brilliant. But do you remember any time with like Jamie Fulton? Obviously, I think you left under Jamie Fulton.
I can't remember who was the manager when I left, but
Mhm.
I didn't really enjoy my time under Jamie Fullerton, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
Mhm.
He was a nice bloke, nice man, but I
Yeah.
think he wasn't the right man for the job at that time, which is his face just didn't really fit. I don't think.
We'll move on now. We've got a few like quick fire questions, like 10 quick fire questions, and then we'll move on to some of the fans' questions. We've got plenty, but the first one is, what is your pre-match meal?
Whatever's been made for me, mate. To be honest, I'm not much of a cook, but normally some beans on toast, scrambled egg on toast, something like
that. When we were part-time at Halifax, what was your job at the time?
I was a shop fitter as well, so like partition walls, suspended ceilings, stuff like that.
What was apart from the FA Trophy final? What was your best time at the club?
I don't know, mate. Just being at the club was probably my favourite, mate. It didn't really matter. It was just a club I really felt at home at, and I was made to feel at home by everyone, and I just really enjoyed every minute I was there.
Obviously, fans' favourite as well. What team do you actually support?
I support Manchester United.
Obviously, doing well at the minute with Ronaldo.
Yeah. Well, we signed Sancho. I bought my little boy the red kit with Sancho on the back, and then the next day we signed Ronaldo. So it cost me another bit of money getting the Ronaldo kit for him in the away kit.
All worth it because Ronaldo's just signed for you. Moving on now, what song gets you buzzed up for a game?
I'm not really a music man, to be honest, mate. I'd listen to something like Oasis, something like that. I would, but obviously the lads in the changing room have all this rap and stuff on, and I just listen to whatever someone else put on. I've never really been in charge of it, to be honest.
What's the best moment as a player?
For Halifax, or?
Well, just as an overall player, would it be that FA Trophy?
Yeah, scoring my first Football League goal when I was 18 was a great moment for me. Obviously, signing my first professional contract was a great moment, but I'd say my goal at Wembley topped everything. Yeah.
Who was your inspiration growing up as like a footballer when you were growing up?
I used to love Roy Keane, mate. He was just the captain of Manchester United, the driving force behind everything that was good about United, mate. So I'd say Roy Keane.
What's the best player you've ever faced against?
Faced against. I couldn't tell you, mate, to be honest.
I'll make it easier then.
Obviously good.
Yeah.
Go on then.
I'll make it easy for you then. What about who you've played with?
I've played with some great players, mate. Well, the best player I've played with was Gylfi Sigurdsson, but I believe he's landed himself in a bit of trouble with the police just recently. So I don't really want to say him, but obviously I've really enjoyed playing with Lee Gregory. If you were in trouble, you could just boot it to him and he'd bring it down on his chest from nowhere.
He's at Sheffield Wednesday now. I've got a few friends at school who are Sheffield Wednesday fans, and he's got his first goal. Who was your best friend at the club then?
No, we had a few lads who couldn't come from Manchester, but to be fair, every changing room I was in at Halifax, we had a real like close group. I mean, obviously being from Manchester, I used to absolutely hate Scousers, but I ended up having a good time with the likes of Matty Brown, Adam Morgan. I met some good people there, mate, and I made some friends.
Every player we've spoke to, when I ask them that question, they always say they didn't really have a best mate because the team was together. And that's really good, isn't it, in a changing room when your team's like, it's not a distant team, like when you've got sides that are spending loads of money all the time. Like, for example, you've got Wrexham now and Stockport. It's players playing for their slots in the team. Where when you've got a team together, it's like you all want what's best for the club, and I think that's what was the good thing about Halifax.
Yeah, and it wasn't just for 1 or 2 years. It's for every year I was there. Even in the season we were relegated, like the fact that we nearly got out of it, showing how close together we was as a group. Yeah.
Moving on now, we've got a few of the fans' questions now. So the first one is, when you got relegated, you joined the fans at Courtyard Pub to thank them for the support. You joined in with the songs too. Talk us through that, and that was from Stephen Collingwood.
Yeah, it was just a last-minute decision I made.
Yeah.
Obviously, the last day of the season, I scored that game as well, and I thought maybe we'd done enough, and if we could see that out, and it hurt me just as much as it hurt the fans. So I just thought it was the right thing to do by getting myself to the pub, and obviously managed to get a few free beers out of him. So it was a good decision, really.
Obviously, it's good. It's good that you did that, obviously, because it shows that the players at the club wanted the best for the club. I knew the fans knew that as well. And then for you to go and join the fans in the pub, I think the fans really do respect you for that.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it for any other reason apart from I felt it was the right thing to do. They stuck by me from my first season to my very last one, so it was the least I could do, really.
We've got another one now. Would you ever consider coming back to the Shay, possibly as a coach, if the opportunity came around? That was from Denzel.
Yeah, now I'm looking at doing my coaching badges and stuff at the minute, so it would be a possibility, and with obviously a good connection I've got with Halifax, it might be a phone call I'll have to make to Bosworth one day and say, do you need anyone?
I'd love to see you back at the Shay as a coach, as a manager even, you never know, and I think the fans would love that as well. Moving on now, what's your plans on life after football? That is from Tony Woodrow.
My plans after football, like I just spoke about, doing my coaching badges. I've been working away a lot recently, but I've decided to knock that on the head because I've got two kids, 11 and 9. So it's just about showing them what's right and wrong in life and making them become good people. That's my main my main priority.
Moving on now. This is from @NatSharnock on Instagram. What was scoring that goal at Wembley the peak of your career?
Yeah, it's easily the best moment of my football career. Yeah, it's not something many people can say they've done. So the fact that I can say I've done it is great, and I'm pretty sure quite a lot of people are bored of me talking about it, to be honest.
I don't think any player at the club, I don't think anyone would be bored of talking about that. It's probably one of the greatest moments in history, besides the '98 season.
Yeah.
It's
something I think. It's all right, mate. Carry on.
No, you carry on.
I was just saying it's something that the club will remember forever. Even though they're at the conference now, getting to the FA Trophy final is a tough ask by any means. So it's something we've always got, and our name will always be there every time we look at it.
We've got one now from Rob Brown. Who's achieved more in your career? Because I remember at the time it said on the commentary that your sister actually did play football. Wasn't she close to playing at Wembley? But you just made it before her.
Yeah, my sister played there. I think it was either the same season or the season after. And obviously I was hoping that she'd win, but I was secretly hoping she wouldn't score. So my bragging rights as the brother weren't took away from me.
Which is always a good thing to have. Moving on now, the final question. Now it's a bit of a quiz. This every single person we've interviewed so far has passed, apart from one person, and that was Matty Pearson. So it's quite a tough question, but most people have passed, so no pressure. This is from Rob. Can you name all the clubs you've played for in order?
What, from when I was a first kid, playing my first ever team?
Well, like, as soon as you came pro as a footballer, senior level.
Senior level. I played for a non-league team called Prestwich Hayes, Curzon Ashton, Crewe
Yeah.
Alexander,
Yeah.
FC United, Halifax Town.
Yeah, that you've passed. There we go, and then
I've passed, yeah.
No. Just carry on
Lovely.
from now. But you've got to Halifax.
Halifax, Colville, Nuneaton.
Yeah, that's correct. So you've passed the test. So only one person hasn't passed the test so far. So you've still got that. Finally, thank you for
Who
coming.
was the person who passed?
Pardon, Matty Pearson. He didn't pass, and he's Huddersfield.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. He didn't have any brain cells in there anyway.
Once again, huge thank you for coming on. I do really appreciate it. And good luck with your season at Nuneaton.
My pleasure, mate. Good luck to all the Halifax fans and Halifax, and good luck to yourself, mate. Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of people have watched, so huge thank you to everyone that's tuned in.
Cheers, pal. Thank you very much. See you later.
See ya. Bye.